we are, man. Another edition of Sit Down at Uptown. Sit Down at Uptown, you know, we chop it up with all the comedians who rock the Uptown Comedy Corner stage. And tonight, man, we got another special guest in the building. Mr. John Henton is in the building.
That's right. I'm here. I'm here at the Uptown, man.
At the Uptown, sir.
Finally made it on down, man. I'm good. I'm good, man.
That's what's up.
Thanks for having me, man.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you, sir. As we all know, Mr. John Henton, man, especially known all over the world as Overton Wakefield Jones from the hit Living Single, which is airing nonstop on all your cable networks.
That's right. Couple times a year. It's a lovely check waiting for me, man. Residuals is a beautiful thing. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. But also, you know, you came right back strong, man. Mr. Miles on was Miles Millsap.
Miles Millsap.
Millsap
Morris, actually. It was based on
Morris.
Miles, one of DL's friends. Yeah, Millsap Morris.
Millsap Morris on the Hughleys, man.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Not so many checks from that. But that's all right, though. But I'm all right, though. You know, I get by the best way I can. Hopefully somebody will pick that up. I need to see some marathons at the Hughleys.
How about that?
And then I'll be
I wonder why they haven't yet, because that was a pretty good show.
I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was, it's just weird. You know, some things pick up. But we went to syndication, so it's still a chance that, somebody pick it up. We'll see what happens.
What about, and before we even get to the show, we talk about the Hughleys, man. What about the young man that was from the show who kind of ran into a whole lot of personal issues, man?
DJ, that was my little brother. I love that little brother. He's good now.
He's good now.
I talked to Ashley, who played the daughter, and they always keep in touch. So that's my conduit to him. And you know, he had got locked down for a minute, but he's out now and he's doing a lot better, man.
Good.
So he got through it, and that was the main thing.
That's good.
So you know,
That's good.
hopefully I get a chance to see him next time I'm out in L.A. Man.
Yeah,
but he's
dope.
good people, man. Them little kids, they kept me going, man.
Really?
That was my family right there, man.
Have you a great experience.
DJ and Ashley, I love them.
Yeah.
You know, they was cool.
It's amazing to see them grow up. It's like part of your family, ain't it?
Because Ashley's doing a bunch of commercials now.
Okay.
You know, she's got she still looks the same. She just she got the real curly hair, and I've seen her doing. She got about 5 or 6 nationals running.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so she's doing her thing.
Still in the groove.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff, man. Well, Mr. John, I like to go backwards on my interviews, man. I like to take a trip back to memory lane.
All right.
For lack of better words, man.
We gonna go there?
Yeah, let's go there for a minute.
All right.
Let's go back, man, to what was John Henton like as a child growing up. I'm assuming you're originally from Ohio, right? Cleveland, Ohio. What was life like back in those days for you?
It was cool, man. Dad moved us out to suburbs, East Cleveland, Ohio. We moved from Cleveland to East Cleveland, which is like one of the nicest suburbs in the country at the time. It was like it was only like 3 black folks on the street, and the rest was white and stuff. But we didn't know that this was like they was about to do that white flight thing.
Okay.
So we moved out there, and you know, we had the nice neighborhood, and all the neighbors was all white and stuff. And then after year, all the white neighbors just moved out, like the middle of the night. You know, you go over there, it's like, hey, my buddy Bill on the other side, I'm about to go over there and play. You go over, the curtain sit down, Bill gone, the door open, man. They moved in the middle of the night. They ran all them folks out of there, turned it all black. But everybody that came in there was just happy to be in the sun. So I just grew up in a great situation with a bunch of people that wanted to be there. And my childhood, I enjoyed it. And I was pretty quiet, but I just took in a lot of stuff. And that's where the comedy came from. Because my mom couldn't believe that I did stand up. When I first started doing it, she's like, you got to talk to do that. Because I ain't never say nothing, man. So she's like, you got to talk. I'm like, yeah, but, you know, when they pay me, I get up there and talk. That's how it works. Because people say the same things. Like, you don't seem like yourself, you know, off stage. I'm like, hey, ain't nobody paying me.
Wow.
You know. So it's like, I ain't here for your amusement. Right. I'm like, Joe Pesci, what am I here to amuse you? No. I did that on stage right now.
Right.
You talk to me. What
That's
you
right.
want to talk about?
Right.
So that's how that works.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. So, as a kid, were you a good student?
Yeah, I was good. I was a good student, but like I got to a point where I didn't think grades was like that. Wasn't I was trying to be cool and. But then when I went to Ohio State, when I graduated, I had enough to get there, and I started taking care of business when I was there. But then I got the acting, I got the comic bug, and I never went back. I was taking a break from Ohio State. I was gonna get an apartment. And so I was working at this paint warehouse, and while I was there, some people dared me to go down to the amateur night at the Cleveland Comedy Club.
Oh, wow.
And I went down there. I didn't win that night. Went back the next week and won. I've been doing comedy ever since. Never went back to Ohio State.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Never went back to Ohio State.
Because I was going to be, I was a computer programmer. I was going to be a systems analyst. This was this was back in the 70s when computers were just taking, I was ahead of the game. And I was ahead of the game, brother.
Wow.
I was getting ready to do some things. But when I started doing these comedy and just being up on stage, I was like, no, I'm good.
So what led them to influence you to do that? Like, were you a funny guy in the dorm room?
Yeah,
like what led?
I would always clown around with people, doing videos. Like it was like the 80s, so it was all the videos, Michael Jackson videos, just different stuff that was out there. I would always, just be funny, man.
Okay.
I just had a natural gift for it, and people picked up on it. So I just, when they dared me to do it, I went down and wrote a bunch of stuff down, like some Friday the 13th jokes, Jason and just some old stuff like that. But I put a nice little set together, and the guy that worked at the comedy club said, "Hey man, that's some pretty good stuff." And so once he told me that, I said, "Well, let me try it again." And then after that, it was on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So in school, were you like you say you were quiet, so you weren't the class clown type guy then, huh?
I wasn't a class clown. Class clowns got in trouble. My teachers would give me time, like at the end of the class, because they knew that I was going to do something stupid.
Okay.
So they said, "All right, John, we give you 5 minutes." I'll never forget. Miss Brown, she gave me some time Miss Butler, Miss Butler at the end of English class. She said, "I know you're going to clown around, so here's 5 minutes at the end." And I would just go up and do some stuff from like TV shows or whatever, and they let me just go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing because I don't know if teachers would still do that these days. You know what I mean? But it
Teachers,
seems like
teachers so scared now, they do whatever the student tell them to do.
whatever they tell them to do.
You know who's running things now, man. It's different. Yeah.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah.
So after high school, did you play any sports or anything in school?
In high school, yeah, I played football and wasn't very good, but I played though.
Okay.
I was out there.
You was out there?
I was out there, and then I went to Ohio State, and I knew I wasn't gonna play college, so I gave up on that.
Yeah.
And then
Did you do drama stuff in school?
I did. In high school, I did. We had a teacher, Miss Pribble. She put me in a musical. I couldn't sing or dance, but she put me in a musical. And I talked to her last year, and I said, "Why did you do that?" Because it was like I did this play called Sweet Charity, and I was just I was in the chorus because I couldn't sing nothing, so I had to be in the chorus. I couldn't dance, so I was in the back, and we did that. We did Godspell. We did Me Nobody Knows. We did a couple black plays. And it just gave me a chance to be up there. So, like, people always ask, were you nervous when you did stand-up? I'm like, I wasn't really nervous because I had been on stage. I did that, those few little plays of being up there in front of people, so it took a lot of the nervousness out of it, so I could just focus on my act. And it wasn't no stage fright from that, and that helped out a lot.
Wow, that's good stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you went on to Ohio State, and you got the dare to go on the stage.
Right.
So after you went the second time, you said you won it?
I won it, yeah.
You
$50.
won it. $50.
$50.
Wow.
Big money grip, right? At BMG, baby. Had me some paper.
Some
Yes, sir.
paper.
Yeah.
So now, what is a conversation like with your mom and dad to say, I'm not going back to Ohio State? I'm going to pursue this comedy thing.
For a while, they didn't know that I was doing comedy.
Okay.
Somebody told my dad that I was doing comedy. He came down and he was in the back of the club. I didn't even know he was there. I was just going down there doing my thing, and I had some problems trying to get back into Ohio State. So it was some paperwork type of stuff. So I kept saying paperwork, and then. After a while, it was like, I'm just going to do this. Once Dad saw me, he said, you pretty good at this. I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to keep doing this. So it was a lot easier after Dad saw me.
Okay.
So I didn't have it. Mom wasn't too thrilled about it, but it was cool.
Yeah.
Got through it.
Yeah. Did you have siblings?
Yeah. I got 3 sisters and 3 brothers.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Where you fit in that group?
I'm in the middle. It's like Dad had some kids before him and Mom, and after. So
Okay.
I got my brothers is on the outside,
Okay.
but I had 3 sisters in with Mom and Dad.
Okay.
So I was in the middle of that. 2 older sisters, 1 younger sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. So what was their thoughts like about, you know?
Everybody was cool. I had the most supportive family.
Good
You know,
deal.
it's like whatever somebody was trying to do, especially artistically. They had saw me in the plays and stuff, so they knew that that was a possibility. When they heard about it, everybody was. We was always, in a word, supportive. You know,
Good deal.
everybody, whatever somebody was trying to do. One sister was a nurse. One sister was an accountant. One sister, just taking care of. Human resources, it's just like
Wow.
whatever we did, we always supported each other.
Good,
So
man.
it was that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, you win this competition, right? Tell us about the journey, your comedy journey from that point.
From winning the amateur night,
After you won the amateur
I just
night.
kept going. It was a couple bars in Cleveland that were doing it, doing stand up, because it was pretty new. This is like '83. This is a long time ago. So it was like a couple bars doing it. And we would just go to bar, little discos, wherever they was doing some shows and make some money. And then I got a chance to. I was emceeing at the comedy club, and there was a club called the Funny Bones that had just opened. This was like the first Funny Bone, and one of the owners was Jeff Schneider from Pittsburgh. He's from Cleveland, but he opened up the Pittsburgh Funny Bone and the St. Louis. Those were the first two Funny Bones. So once he saw me, he said, "I want you to come and you can feature in Pittsburgh." So my first road gig, I didn't even MC. I went straight up to feature.
Wow.
And wasn't no looking back from there, because in the 80s, all those clubs kept opening up. Funny Bones, like they was in Milwaukee, Knoxville. They was all over the country. And then the Improv, then Bud got into it, and Improvs, and it was just clubs. So it was like by the late 80s, I was working 40 weeks a year, man.
Wow.
I was on the grind, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, do you remember where you were? I don't know if it was an amateur night. What was it? Where were you on stage when you really realized that this is what I want to do? This is my passion here.
I dug it that first time, because I got good response, man, because I didn't know how people would take something. I knew I was funny, just clowning around, but actually writing some stuff down in front of the audience. So I was definitely, once the guy told me that was pretty funny, I definitely wanted to go back. So when I won and I was more people were coming up to me, that's when I realized I had something.
Okay.
And we're gonna keep this rolling.
So did you learn how to write on your own? Was there other comedians
Yeah,
around you?
I wrote on my own, but we had a big support group of people, man. So everybody was sitting in the back, and you would write something, and you would do it, and people said, "Oh, that was good, man. Here, try this." So we had helpers. It wasn't no haters back then. It was just helpers. So we would watch everybody's set and say, "All right, that's funny, but why don't you try it this way?"
Gotcha.
So people was always supportive, and so we got a lot of stuff written that way. It was like a group effort.
Who were some of the comedians in that clique? Do you
And
remember
that it was a guy, Frank Santarelli. He was Georgie on The Sopranos. He ended up
really?
being Georgie on The Sopranos.
Okay.
Frank Santarelli, he was the first guy when I walked in the club. It was a bunch of people from Cleveland. He was Georgie from The Sopranos. He was the MC that night. Terry Mulroy was there. Terry Mulroy was a head writer for a Drew Carey show.
Wow.
Drew Carey was there. Dan O'Shannon, he was a producer for Cheers.
Wow.
And he wrote jokes for Jay Leno. Tom Anderson, he was a producer on Living Single. So it was these young cats, man. Everybody, we all blew up at the same time.
Wow.
Drew Carey came along about a year or two later, and Steve Harvey and AJ Jamal came up right after that. So
Wow.
Cleveland, we had some people on the map, man.
Wow, that's good stuff.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah. I had a nice little peer group.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So now you start to make these moves, right?
Yeah.
So where does the acting bug come into play?
That just came with doing stand-up. Once I got an agent. Once I did the Tonight Show, and once I did the Tonight Show, I got an agent.
Slow down. You did the Tonight Show.
I did the Tonight. I didn't mention that. Oh,
Yeah.
well, let's talk. Let's talk, Angelo. Oh, well, since you brought it up.
Since you brought it up. Yeah, we just can't overlook the Tonight Show.
I was doing, actually, my whole career started right here in the ATL, man.
Wow.
What happened was I was doing the Comedy Act Theater.
Okay.
Mike Williams had the Comedy
Williams.
Act Theater back in the 90s. And me and this guy, Rory Flynn, we flew in. We was about to do Comedy Act Theater. And we was at the airport. and we about to get our luggage, and Rory Flynn said, "Hey, John, that's Bud Friedman over there, man." I was like, "Oh, wow, Bud Friedman, the owner of the Improvs, right?" So I did an audition for him a few months earlier and just bombed. And I said, he said, "Man, you know, you ought to go up there and talk to him." I said, "Well, let me go on up." I said, "Hey, Bud, did all this for you. It was horrible, but I'm a lot better now, and I'd like to do something for you again." He said, "I'm in town doing this Johnny Walker comedy search thing. And if you want to, come on down. I'll take a look at you tonight." Went down that night. I won the comedy competition there in Atlanta. I got $5,000.
Wow.
It was the Johnny Walker Comedy Search. Then we went out to L.A. for the finals. I won the finals, and that was $25,000.
Wow.
And the talent coordinator for the Tonight Show was in the audience, and he said, "You got the Tonight Show."
Really?
So off of Atlanta,
Wow.
doing that, bang, bang. You know, it's like, that's why I tell comics, I always be ready, because sometimes, you know, when your chance comes, you got to hit it hard. Bud took a look at me that night, and Bud supported me, you know, the whole way, man. So I was an improv comic. We started doing TV shows. After I did the Tonight Show, it was on and popping, man. I got an agent, got a manager. I did a Showtime special the next year, and the year after that, I did a couple pilots that year, and the year after that, Living Single.
Wow.
So that's how everything.
Wow.
So you all caught up. That's it. What else you want to know? Nosy Angelo, just asking everything. Just all in people's business.
all
That
in
ain't right.
folks'
Just
business,
all
right?
in people's business, man. What else you want to know, Angelo?
Hey, but that's awesome though to just think about. What if you hadn't said nothing to Bud that day? I mean,
That's what I'm
just the
saying.
cojones to go over there and make that move, man.
Rory
That's good
Flynn,
stuff.
man, this brother, he said, "Man, make sure you go talk to him, because I don't know if I would have done it without him." And I got to give a shout out to that brother, because I showed it go up and everything changed.
Yeah. So now the actual Tonight Show experience, though.
Yeah.
I mean, how was the actual experience? I mean, this is what 1990.
91.
91.
It was 91. June 5th, 1991. And people always ask, "Were you nervous doing it?" I wasn't nervous. I was ready to do it. You know,
Okay.
sometimes when you're just ready to go, I wasn't nervous. I'm like, come on, I just want to get it over with, because I know I'm gonna do my thing. I know it. So I'm getting ready to go out, and right before I'm behind the curtain, and my comic friend, my acting coach, Danny Moore, was with me, and he was pumping me up. He said, "You gonna do this?" I said, "Yeah, I got this, man." And right before I was getting ready to go out there, this guy comes by and he said, "Hey, brother, you're going to do real good, man. We're going to make you look real good out there." And I looked, and it was, remember the old show, The Gong Show?
Sure.
Remember Gene the Dancing Machine?
Yeah.
That's who it was. Gene the Dancing Machine.
Really?
Came up to me and said, "We going to make," because he worked lights. He
wow.
He worked lights and sound and stuff for NBC Studios, and that's how he got to get. He said, "We're going to make you look good." And I said, "That was Gene the Dancing Machine." And they say, "Come to John Henton." And I'm looking over. That's Gene. And if you watch me when I come out, I'm saying, "That was damn Gene the Dancing." And I was like, "All right, let me go and do this show." And I did it, and the whole time was just a blur.
That's crazy.
Because I was like, Gene just gave. I just met my first star.
Right.
And it was Gene. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So did that, and he called me. Did my set. The set went well. He called me over to the couch, which is a big thing, and I got a chance to talk with him, Tony Bennett, Ed McMahon, and I'm sitting up there, and he asked me if I had an agent. I said no. He said, "Well, I guarantee you have one tomorrow." He called me to his office the next day. He had 2 typewritten pages back and front of agents and managers that wanted to meet with me because he said I was funny.
Serious?
So Mr. Carson put me on the map, bro.
That's incredible.
That was big.
That's incredible.
That's
That's an
it.
incredible story there, man.
Yeah. Well, since you're being all nosy,
Yeah, man,
all
let's
I'll
go
tell
get-
you,
let's go
I
get
got
the
some
scoop.
interesting stuff for your nose, for Mr. Nosy Angelo. Yes, sir.
So now, Living Single, was that a call, or was it a the audition? Like what was
Oh
that
yeah, I
process?
auditioned for that. It was the lady who created Yvette Lee Bowser. She had saw me in the pilot. I did a pilot for Eddie Murphy's People the year before, and she had saw me in that. So she knew I was funny. She didn't know if I could act.
Okay.
And so she called me in to do it. and it was just a cattle call. It was like 60 people. I went there for that first audition. You couldn't even get in the building. It was people all outside. It was just everybody that got tool belts on. Everybody trying to be Overton, man. And I'm like, well, I'm here now. So
Right.
I mean, they called me, so I'm gonna go on in. So I walked in and I saw her, and somebody said that's the writer of the show, gorgeous woman, right? And she laughed. So I'm like, well, if I can get her to laugh, that's the one that. So I did my whole audition. I did to her, and she was laughing. I'm like, well, if I got her laughing and she wrote this, then I got a chance. And so I got another call back. She was there. Same thing. So about the third or fourth time, I'm like, hey, man, this is getting close. I think it took about 6 times.
Really?
Yeah, all the way. I mean, there was so many people they had to weed them out, man. This was a big show. So I got down to that last time, and it was just me and this other dude. And I wasn't trying to jinx him. I wasn't trying to mess up his game. I just told him, I just claimed it. I said, brother, this show right here, this one ain't for you. I said, I got to have this. I got bills. I got some stuff. And Kim Coles is going to be my girlfriend on this show. I got to have this, bro. I'm wishing you the best on the next one, but this one ain't for you. And I went on there and took that job. Sure did, man. I wasn't trying to mess with him.
Right.
I just claimed it.
Right.
Yep.
So Kim Coles was definitely a mainstay in that. So were the rest of those roles, as far as you know, were they already set? How many people had to go through that process?
Let's see. Kim Coles and Queen, it was a show for them.
Okay.
So they had put their developmental deal. So those two was there, and then they picked, and then Kim Fields, because everybody loved Tootie, so she was the next one. Erica Alexander, who played Max, she had just came off of the Cosby Show. So she was there, and then I went and read, then I got it, and then TC was like the last one, and I read. A matter of fact, I got mine like the day before he read the last one, so I got a chance to read with him.
Okay.
And so we had the chemistry, so we went on and put that together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what is it like though, brother? So while we in our nosy phase, what's it like though to? Well, let me ask this first question. Did you all have any idea the magnitude of that show when you first walked in those doors?
Not. When we did the pilot, we knew it was going to be pretty good because the crowd reaction was bananas. You know, it's like pilots usually, you know, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But it's like we got good feedback. But when I knew that we had a hit was the first show that we taped after we aired.
Okay.
Once people saw it, you know, that they saw the pilot, and then we had did like maybe a show or two after that. And then once the people saw, once it aired, and that it was a totally different reaction, and we knew we had a hit because once the world had seen what we had, we knew we was into something.
Yeah,
we knew we was into something.
Yeah,
we always did, but
really?
It was just the audience reaction. It was bananas after that, man. So people screaming and hollering, and I'm like, we all screaming. What's happening? Once they saw it, man, it was on, and people liked it.
Yeah. So now, after with that being said, what's it like to see all those? Because you all became, you know, stars, literally after this show, man. What was that like for you? That change?
For me, it was. I was just. I don't know. For me, it was like it was a chance for me not to be on the road so much because I was on the road all the time. It was comedy. So for me, it's like Friday and Saturday. I could sit back and I left a lot of money on the table because I didn't stay out on the road. That's one thing DL told me. He said, "Dude, never give up your number one hustle." And DL would like even when we was doing the show, we would finish taping at 11 o'clock. DL would get a limo and go straight to the airport. He had a gig somewhere in Detroit on Saturday, man. Me, I was just happy with it. And I left a lot of money on the table, man. So it was a learning experience for me because I should have been out there really increasing my brand because now, even to this day, people say, I didn't know you did comedy, you know. So it's like they just know me as an actor. And it was a lot, I could have cashed in a lot more. And I could have really established my brand if I'd have did that.
Gotcha.
So that was the biggest mistake for me. I just got lazy, man, because I was tired of being on the road all the time, you know. So, but now, like I said, back out here and doing what I love, still doing it. People still laughing. I'm good.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
The chemistry on the show was it as authentic as it appeared?
Absolutely. We were best friends, man. It's like, I love them girls. Make sexy. Because the thing is, it's like, to see the girls like all week, they got on just jeans and they regular, no makeup, no nothing, and rollers and blah, blah, blah. But on Tuesday night when we tape, and to see them fine girls come out with wardrobe and makeup, and they, oh, man, I fell in love every Tuesday night. I'm like, look at this, man. Queen just had Kim Cole, just Tootie.
Right.
Tootie. I've been in love with all these girls, and then Max, there with the baddest body in Hollywood. That girl, she's Slim Goody, but that girl work out. Oh, man, it was just, I just fell in love. Hercules. It was just sexiness, man. So tape night, I love me some tape night, man. Because me and TC was sitting in the back, and we could tell who was walking out based on how the crowd would scream. Because it's like everybody had different screams, and it was like, oh, that's Queen walking out. Because you knew what kind of, they had some outfit on or something. And then one time they walked out, and I said, oh, yeah, that's Kim Fields there. She got on she had on these gold lame stuff. They was doing something, and she had this little tight skirt. Oh, man. I love that show. That was a great show.
Yeah, no doubt. So now, with that being said, man, you have, like I said, you did the Hughleys. You hit the hit show. What's like still on your to-do list? Like, what are the things that John Henton still is seeking in his business?
Whatever comes, man. You know, because like I said, I've been in the game for a long time, and right now I'm blessed to still be doing comedy. But if something else comes along, if somebody's looking for me, that'd be great. But if not, I got 2 shows that are in syndication, so I mean that's a pretty good run. A lot of people don't do it like I did, man. So it's like, I mean, I did a couple movies, but I got cut out of them because it was just a little small part. It'd be nice to do a movie or something. Okay. That would be good. But if that didn't happen, I got a good career, and I got a show that people still watch 30 years later, and they still watch it people tell me, somebody comes up to me each and every day, I was watching you this morning. I was watching you.
I watched it yesterday.
That's what I'm saying, man. Dude, that's a blessing, man.
Yeah, real
so
talk.
it's like, I mean, if I get a movie or something else out, that'd be great. But 2 shows in syndication, and people still watching 30 years later, I'm good. It's
a beautiful thing.
I'm good.
It's a beautiful thing, no doubt. So the comedy is something you still love doing.
Yeah,
though.
Still love it, man.
Yeah.
It's still fun. It's like 40 years in the game. I'm probably be wrapping that up soon too, because it's still fun, and I want to go out while it's still fun. You know, so it's like just going on with the next part of my life, just being old, man, just being the cranky old man. So
ain't nothing wrong
as
with
I talk about in my act, man, is getting older, man. Ain't no joke, man.
Yeah,
so just moving on to the next phase, man.
Okay.
But I'm happy with how everything turned out.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's excellent stuff, man. Yeah. So, John, man, I always like to end my shows off with a top 5, right?
Top 5.
Yeah, top 5.
Okay, what we got?
So, now, seeing that you're a Cleveland guy.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm a roll with something from there. Although, you know, I'm a Steeler, so you know what I mean.
Oh man,
No, I wasn't gonna ruin the conversation till the end.
And you did, and you did.
I wasn't gonna ruin it till the end. I know between.
But you did that, brother.
But give me your top 5 Ohio State players of all time.
Top 5 Ohio State players.
Ohio State.
Ooh, man, I could go on forever. It's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Orlando Pace was the #1 offensive tackle in the history of, like, just Hall of Fame immediately.
I agree.
They coined the term pancake based on this man, because he would just beat people up, run them down, and then fall on top of them. And they didn't know what to call it before Orlando Pace. That is the pancake maker.
Yeah.
So that's Chef Boyardee
no argument there.
Let's see. We got Jack Tatum, like Dirty Jack, man. He was just the meanest man in the world. Just take your head off, not apologize for the assassin. I call him Dirty Jack.
Only one that could be Earl Campbell in the hole.
Man, and he hit him.
Hey,
Dirty Jack, man. Oh gosh. So many people, linebackers. We had I got Ezekiel Elliott for Ohio State. Maybe not, with Dallas, he had a couple good years, but for what he did for Ohio State when they won that chip a couple years ago, Zeke gotta be in the top 5.
He had a run like no other at the running
what
back
he did
position.
to Alabama just broke their heart, 85 yards.
Oh man, shredded them.
That was
Shredded Michigan that last game. Then
beat them bad.
Yeah.
Beat them bad.
Zeke was different.
Zeke was responsible for that one right there.
Yeah.
I like that last quarterback, C.J. Stroud, didn't win the game against
Michigan.
I
got you.
You know that team.
Yeah.
That team up north. We don't say.
I know you don't.
We don't say the word. The team up north, but was as you see what he's doing now.
Mm-hmm.
That was like one of the best quarterbacks, and we had like a list like Fields and Haskins. All of them came up, but I always like CJ and I'm leaving out so many different people. We had all of the
y'all had a run of quarterbacks for a minute. That was
we had quarterbacks. We had Eddie George, Heisman winner. I got to put him up there. Ray Ellis, cornerback, played for Philly. He was a bad boy. It's so many people, man.
Well, you got 4 legit ones. Give me one more.
Let's see. We got.
He said Maurice the correct.
As far as Ohio State,
He
you
could have been
Archie Griffin.
there you go.
2-time Heisman. Didn't do nothing with the pros, but I'm like for college.
Yeah.
Oh, Archie. Hey, ain't no doubt about that. Number 45.
Yes, sir.
In case you was confused. Shoot, I tell you what, 45, brother. Look here, I got another show to do. We gonna talk. What, we still talking? I got another show to do. Got things to do. What's happening, brother? What else you want to know?
We officially good there, Mr. John Henton.
All right.
Yeah. We did the top 5, so we good, man. Hey, but listen, I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Coming down to Uptown Comedy Corner, man. We're definitely excited to have you here.
Thanks for having me, brother.
And continue to rock out this weekend. Continue to do what you do in this comedy world, sir.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
This is the sit down at Uptown.
That's right.
And the sit down at Uptown.
That's right.
And we out. You dig?
Got it.
Now go, Bo.
One more time without the interruption. Hold on. Just hold on. We still taping. We record. I respect the level of professionalism. Go ahead, man. Go do your thing.
And thank you for tuning in to the sit down at Uptown.
Yeah. Now, may I help you?